Welcome to the TIFF vlog. Today I'm going to see Return to Seoul at Scotiabank Theatre. My boyfriend and I met up before the movie and had juicy dumpling. Then we made a stop at Coco and talked about how we didn't know what to expect from this movie. On our way to TIFF Bell Lightbox, we found a display of all the movies created by Korean directors, and I didn't know some of them were playing at TIFF. I wanted to pick up my program book that I pre-ordered, but they said they didn't have any at the moment, so we headed straight to the theater, which was a 5-minute walk away. We didn't realize the seats were first come first serve, but luckily got 2 adjacent seats. Directed by Davy Chow, Return to Seoul is the story of Freddie, a Korean adoptee living in France. The film starts when she takes a spontaneous trip to Seoul, and we're there with her the entire way as she takes this life-changing trip and spirals through emotions she's not yet ready to face. There were aspects of this film that I really related to and other aspects that I didn't relate to at all. While I was watching the film, it was hard for me to understand her motivations, why she made the choices that she did. But in the end, it's a narrative of a character that you really feel for. Overall, I thought the pace of the film was slow, especially because I have a well-conditioned short attention span. But what I like the most about this film is the use of silence. It really made me focus on the character's emotions through grief, anger, confusion to awkwardness. On Saturday, I watched the Fabelmans and Daliland by myself. Unsurprisingly, I was late to my first screening of the day and got seated with the rush line ticket holders and missed the first 5 minutes of the Fabelmans. A semi-autobiographical coming-of-age film directed by Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans is the story of Sammy, a young, passionate, driven filmmaker. It's an intimate story of his childhood and how he fell in love with movies. It's also a bold reflection of the challenges of growing up and family hardships. I only have good things to say about this film. There was never a dull moment. For 2.5 hours, you're completely absorbed into the life of the Fabelmans. The soundtrack perfectly suited the mischievous and hopeful mood of the film. Personally, it was really cool to see old film cameras and how films used to be edited in the past. Sammy's passion is contagious and inspiring. You can feel the joy he experiences while making films, and he shares that joy with his friends and family. I will rate this 9 acorns out of 10 and recommend it to anyone who loves movies. I went back to TIFF Bell Lightbox after the movie to pick up my program book with success. My boyfriend and I met up, had K-barbecue, took a walk to the Eaton Center, and had Isabella's mochi donuts. I liked the chewy texture of the donuts, and my favorite flavor was the raspberry passion fruit.
Every festival is a promise to you. This year, even more than most, we hope we delivered on that promise, and we thank you.
This film took 9 years to get going. 9 years ago, my husband and I started talking, and he convinced me that even though I'd done a film about an artist, it was worth doing another.
Directed by Mary Herron, Daliland is the story of Salvatore Dali, told through the eyes of his temporary assistant. It unveils his life before the spotlight, his marriage with Gala, as well as his lavish lifestyle. But it also unearths his isolation from the world and loneliness in his personal life. This was TIFF's closing night gala presentation, and it was screened for the first time at the Roy Thompson Hall. It was my first time at a premium screening, and it was cool to hear stories about how the film was made from the director and the cast. I really appreciate how I learned more about Salvatore Dali, but after watching the movie, I did feel a little bit sad because I felt he was a very lonely person. He was under a lot of internal and external pressures to create great paintings. I like the cinematography in this film. It provided an interesting story aspect. I would rate this film 7 acorns out of 10 and recommend it to anyone who's looking to learn more about this surrealist artist. After the Q&A, I finished the leftover donuts and took a selfie with the TIFF sign because I saw people stop to take photos and thought I was missing out. The next day, I went to see Hunt with my parents. We headed out early to grab food and to sit together during the movie. We went to La Carnitas for an early taco dinner. My dad liked the atmosphere of the restaurant and my mom really liked the fish tacos. It's been a while since they've been downtown, so they really enjoyed the trip. We were at the theater 2 hours before the start time. After an hour, we got seated and was able to sit where we wanted. Directed by Lee Jung-jae, in Hunt, 2 KCIA agents go head-to-head to find the mole in their agency. The KCIA agents, played by Lee Jung-jae and Chung Woo-sung, suspect each other of being North Korean spies as they try to protect the president, but really their political ideologies. It's a dramatization of South Korea's history during the 80s. As a Korean Canadian with zero formal Korean history education, I really appreciate Korean films with a historical and political background, but Hunt felt like a movie that I've already seen before. I did learn a few new things to fill in my history gaps, some little random and fun facts. There was a lot of gunfire and there was no takeaway from the ending. I'm stating the obvious, but obviously, Lee Jung-jae and Chung Woo-sung's portrayal of the tension between the 2 KCI agents were superb. I would give it 6 out of 10 acorns and recommend it to anyone who likes action movies. And if you're a fan of Lee Jung-jae or Chung Woo-sung, or both, it's a must-see as well. Overall, I was inspired by my TIFF experience. The 2 coming-of-age films really made me see the big picture and got me thinking about what I want to film for my vlogs. And Sammy Fabelmans' passion for filmmaking also motivated me to be more creative and continue on my humble vlogging journey. However, this year I wasn't able to see my first choice movies. So for next year, I'm hoping to get front half tickets for a better experience like the red carpet and get premium tickets to see the movies that I want to see so that I can hear the director and cast members talk about how the movie was made. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!